Right now, someone in your life is lying to you. Not about something small, about something that matters. And the worst part? You've probably believed them. Because most people think they can spot a liar. But research shows the average person detects deception only 53% of the time. That's barely better than flipping a coin. So today, I'm going to show you 6 subtle signs that someone is lying straight to your face. And pay close attention to number 5, because it's the one even trained professionals miss. 1. They give you too much detail. Here's what most people expect from a liar: short answers, vague responses, avoidance. But real liars do the opposite. They over-explain. They flood you with details you never asked for. A simple question like, "Where were you last night?" gets a 5-minute monologue about traffic, parking spots, and what song was playing on the radio. Why? Because liars rehearse. They build their story in advance like a script, and they're terrified that silence or brevity will make them look guilty. Psychologists call this the information overload strategy. The liar believes that more detail equals more believable, but genuine people don't do this. When you're telling the truth, you give just enough. You don't need to convince anyone. So the next time someone answers a simple question with a novel, pay attention. The extra detail isn't for your benefit, it's for theirs. 2. Their emotions arrive late. This one is incredibly subtle and almost impossible to fake. When someone genuinely feels an emotion, the expression hits their face before the words come out. You hear bad news, and your face drops instantly. Then you say, "Oh no, that's terrible." But when someone is faking their reaction, the words come first, and the expression follows a beat later. "Oh no, that's terrible," and then the sad face appears. This delay is tiny, sometimes less than a second, but your subconscious picks up on it, even when your conscious mind doesn't. That uneasy feeling you get when something seems off about someone's reaction, this is often why. Research from Paul Ekman's work on microexpressions confirms that authentic emotions are involuntary and immediate. Performed emotions require processing time. The brain has to decide what to feel, and that decision creates a lag. 3. They freeze their upper body. When people are comfortable and telling the truth, they move naturally. They shift their weight, they gesture with their hands, they lean in or lean back. But liars tend to become physically rigid, especially from the shoulders up. Their hands stop moving, their posture locks, their head stays unusually still. This happens because lying requires enormous cognitive effort. The brain is simultaneously constructing a false narrative, monitoring your reaction, suppressing the truth, and managing anxiety. There simply aren't enough resources left for natural body movement. It's like a computer running too many programs at once. Everything slows down. FBI behavioral analysts have noted this pattern for decades. When a suspect suddenly goes still during questioning, it's often the moment deception begins. So watch for the moment someone turns into a statue. Their body is telling you what their mouth won't.
You ask a direct question, and instead of a direct answer, you get deflection. Why would you even ask me that? I can't believe you don't trust me. That's ridiculous. This is a classic manipulation tactic called counteraccusation. The liar shifts the dynamic from them being questioned to you being the problem. Suddenly, you're the one who's unreasonable. You're the one who lacks trust. And now you're defending yourself instead of getting your answer. Notice what happened. The original question disappeared. That was the goal. Honest people don't need to attack your question. They just answer it. Even if they're annoyed or offended, they address the substance first. No, I didn't do that, and here's why that question bothers me. The deflection without an answer is the signal. If someone makes you feel guilty for asking a legitimate question, ask yourself why they need you to stop asking. 5. Their story stays exactly the same. This is the one most people get backwards. We think a consistent story means someone is telling the truth, but the opposite is often true. Real memories are messy. Every time you recall an event, you remember it slightly differently. You might swap the order of 2 details. You might remember a new thing you forgot before. You might correct yourself mid-sentence. This is how genuine memory works. It's reconstructive, not recorded. But a fabricated story is memorized like a script. Ask a liar to tell the story again, and it comes out word for word, same structure, same details, same pauses. Ask them to tell it backwards, and they struggle because they learnt it in one direction. Cognitive psychologists use this exact technique in forensic interviews. The consistency that feels reassuring is actually a red flag. Truth bends, lies are rigid. 6. Their eyes tell a different story than their mouth. You've probably heard the myth that liars avoid eye contact. Some do, but many liars actually increase eye contact because they know about the myth and they overcompensate. The real signal isn't where they look, it's the disconnect between their eyes and their words. Someone says, "I'm so happy for you," but their eyes don't crinkle at the corners. Someone says, "That's really sad," but there's no moisture, no softness in their gaze. This is because we have limited conscious control over the muscles around our eyes. We can force a smile with our mouth, but the orbicularis oculi, the muscle that creates a genuine smile around the eyes, only activates with real emotion. Ekman called it the Duchenne smile versus the social smile. The mouth can lie, the eyes almost never do. So don't just listen to what someone says, watch whether their eyes agree. And hey, if this is making you rethink some conversations you've had recently, hit subscribe. We break down human behavior like this every week. Here's what all of this comes down to. Detecting deception isn't about catching people in some dramatic movie moment confession. It's about noticing the small things, the extra details that shouldn't be there, the emotion that arrives a half-second too late, the body that goes still, the question that gets attacked instead of answered, the story that never changes, the eyes that don't match the words. None of these signs alone prove someone is lying, but when you see 2 or 3 of them cluster together, trust that instinct, because your gut has been picking up on these signals your entire life. Now your mind knows what to look for too.